This is one of the three new colors of the Omega Planet Ocean in 43.5 millimeters. They did gunmetal gray, which is what I have in front of the camera today. They did a brushed silver, and they did a sand color, which I have seen in person and think looks absolutely fantastic. And Omega, in doing this newer, updated Planet Ocean, they really steered away from the shine of previous stainless steel Planet Oceans. Those had gloss ceramic dials, gloss ceramic bezels. They had polished hands, polished markers, polished case lugs, and they had a lot of reflections, a lot of light play. And admittedly, the creamsicle is one of my favorite divers from this brand. So I'm not knocking the prior version of the Planet Ocean, which is still available from Omega. But these new versions, this specific gunmetal version that I have in front of the camera, this has a brushed ceramic bezel insert. This has a sand-blasted gunmetal grade dial, and this has fully brushed lyre-style case lugs, which I have to say look really good, far better than I would have imagined having an all brushed Planet Ocean case. The applied markers are still polished, but the hands, the Arabic numerals, the logo on the dial, that's all finely brushed and I think looks excellent under the macro lens. So this overall de-shining, I think was a good move on the part of Omega. I think all three colors look very subtle, very sharp, but not overly toolish or how do you say, overbearing, if that makes sense. Thank you to Exquisite Timepieces for sending in this new release for a review. Exquisite is a family-owned Omega AD in Florida. I've borrowed from them many times. I've bought from them many times. So if you are shopping Omega, Grand Seiko, they have over 60 brands. Take a look at what they offer. They also have a big pre-owned inventory. If you're shopping any of these brands, I recommend them and have linked their store below. Now, in this video, I'd like to talk about the positive aspects about this Planet Ocean, the missed opportunities on the part of Omega, and then end by comparing this watch to the competition that you might be cross-shopping this with. And starting with the good, I love the dial details here. I think they look very crisp, very clean. I love that brushwork. You see kind of, I would say, different colors of the spectrum reflected when the light hits these applied metal pieces just right, and that's a beautiful thing. I don't generally like off-white lume, but this watch does not feel like it has photina. I think that's something that a lot of watch collectors are wary of. And this just has a, just kind of an off-white warm hue to the Lumen Natural Light, but in low light conditions, it glows bright, it has good longevity, and it is a bitone application like all other Omega divers. Overall, this watch is subtle, it's sharp, it has a great presence to it. It's not overpowering, but it's still pretty with the different aspects, if that makes sense. And I think it has a high level of versatility with this color scheme, and that's always a positive thing. Now, this also has one of the best movements that you can buy in the luxury watch market. I love this 8900 in-house coaxial caliber because it has the time zone hours feature, which is my favorite of the more common or practical type complications. I love the fact that it's META certified, and I love the fact that I can see this pretty arabesque finishing behind a display crystal, which I have to also say is uncommon for a watch that has 600 meters of water resistance. Generally, watches with that level of water resistance, they have closed case backs. Now, as far as missed opportunities go, I think, and maybe I'm in the minority here, but Omega, take off this ridiculous case back screening. I either want to see the movement or I want to see a cool closed case back design. None of this hybrid nonsense where you're showing me part of the movement, but part of it's obscured with a logo. I just don't like this. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. So I'm not a fan of that on this watch. The other thing that I would mention is there is no bracelet option from Omega for this color scheme. And I believe the standard bracelet would fit It appears that this case is the same outside of the brushed finish. So I think you can order a bracelet, but that's expensive, and no watch collector wants to have to order an expensive bracelet to add to an already luxury priced watch. This retails for $7,100, which is the same retail price as the Creamsicle that has a lovely brush bracelet and a fully loomed, bezel insert. So I don't think the value is quite here with this on the fitted rubber, and I'd like to see a bracelet option from Omega. I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity. Now, let me show you this watch next to a couple others that either I personally own or I have in for review from Exquisite, just so you can get a visual comparison, and then we'll talk where this watch sits in the market. Here it is next to my Seiko SLA 051. This has a very similar look. It's a retro-inspired design. It has the anthracite dial, but it definitely looks smaller than the Planet Ocean, even though it's a wider watch. It's a huge cushion case, and that really speaks to the fact that this Planet Ocean has powerful presence. And if you're going to enjoy wearing this watch, you have to enjoy a large diver, a tall diver, a heavy diver. You have to enjoy that, or I don't think you're really going to get a lot out of the Planet Ocean experience. It's supposed to be a big, powerful watch, and you can really see that when you compare this to this Seiko or this Black Bay 41, which is really only a couple millimeters smaller than the Planet Ocean, but looks quite a bit smaller when you compare them side by side. And I want to mention that this Black Bay 41 has a Meta certified movement, same as what's in the Omega, at least in terms of the certification. The Tudor does not have the great finishing. It does not have the time zone hours complication. You cannot see it through an open case back, but it is Meta certified, and this watch retails for thousands less than the Omega. And so I think a lot of watch collectors will gravitate to some of the more value-packed offerings. So they're either cross-shopping this watch, this Planet Ocean, with a lesser-priced luxury piece, a far lesser-priced luxury piece, or they're cross-shopping this with a far more expensive, serious diver, like maybe a Sea Dweller or a Glasuta Original Panorama Date that's also the same size, that's tall, that has powerful presence, that's very pretty for a toolish diver. So really, it's kind of in a weird spot in the market, and I'd be curious about your opinion. Where does this sit? Are you cross-shopping this with lesser-priced watches, and you're considering this as the step up, or is this the value pick over far more, expensive serious divers like, maybe an Ultra Deep from Omega, which is similar in overall design, a lot more water resistance. It's bigger, it's taller, it's a more serious watch. Let me know where you stand on that. I kind of think that this Planet Ocean sits in a weird or a unique part of the the diver market. I also know some other collectors that shop the Planet Ocean next to other Omega, like a Seamaster Professional 300 or a Seamaster 300 or a ProPlof or, again, the Ultra Deep. So I like the fact that Omega has a wide diversity of divers within their product catalog. I think that's a good thing. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if there's another watch that I missed that you think this should be cross-shopped with. If you're shopping Omega, definitely check out Exquisite. You are welcome to use my own sales associate and tell him that I sent you. I've linked all that below. Like this video if you got something from it or enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I would really appreciate that. Thank you.